Yeah, go ahead.
It's my personal conviction that being beholden to one instrument, I think, is suicide for a trader. Certainly, if you're starting out, because all you're doing is just looking at one particular instrument all the time. And it puts you in a place of temptation, right? Where maybe an experienced trader for 4 or 5 years, has the scar tissue to show, right? That, hey, I only need one or two trades, big trades, and I'm done for the day. Try, you can't impart that to a new, or even to you could say, a little bit more seasoned trader. So to me, the only solution is, don't focus on one instrument. Only focus on those instruments that are moving, right? So it's like, hey, if NQ is touch and go and playing games, then you know what? I'm just not going to touch it, But I'll keep it open, and 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 I have it signal to me, right, on certain moves, right? I have audio alerts, right? When it hits certain parameters, it does get my attention on my 7 monitors. But in the meantime, then I will, like I said, go to a strategy like channel trading and or keep my eyes open for Nvidia, Meta, Amazon, Google, right? They're always one of those 6 or 7 provides some opportunity to do something. No, throughout the day, no question. You know, and then like I said, so I really see a 3 pronged strategy. And then on those days where I see big movements where there's volatility, then I will do an option on the equities. So I got that set up. So for me, I think using that approach, I think is better. And then what I just added today in my script, actually, I take that back. I have it added for my option script, where let's suppose for the moment I'm up, we'll say hypothetically $100 just to make the math good, and I put 10 shares, 10 contracts on Tesla. I can immediately bank 75, okay, we'll say 80%. Then I'll let the 20% run at break even, right? I haven't been doing that on futures. So I contacted Ninja, and they said that the script can be built. Whereas an example, like if I want to trade 2 contracts or 3 contracts, I can get my quick scalp, right, for my 2 or 3 points that I normally get, or for, whatever. Sometimes I get 4 or 5, and then I could let that one or 2 contracts just run, maybe for another, but to run to break even, right? So I'm gonna do that moving forward, and I think that'll really enhance my.
So you're slightly adjusting your strategy, right?
Well, yeah, because I'm seeing a pattern, honestly, Robert, personally, of me being able to take great scalps, but after I take my scalps, uh, I see the market continue on maybe for another 5 or 10 points, sometimes 15 points, you know,
Okay.
and I just see it too many times throughout the day. So it's like, you know what? I need to change my take profit strategy. Do a 20/80 or 75/25. Bank the 75 and let one, or maybe if I do 2 contracts, right, on NQ, I'll just do 50/50. I'll let one contract, I'll get my quick scalp, and then I'll do a break even and just let that thing run. I'll let it run, and if it pulls back and I get
So you're gonna
stopped,
let. So you're telling your audience you're gonna let one runner run while you're in profit with NQ, right?
right?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then even if it blows out at break even on the third or fourth time, trust me, when it happens on the fifth time, because it will happen, right?
So it's important to have one runner run when you think the market is trending.
Listen, even if the market doesn't, that's the one thing about NQ, right? The market runs in lanes. NQ can run in.
But you believe the market's been trending recently, right? In your opinion?
No, I don't think it's been true.
But you think the market's been trending higher recently,
It's
right?
slowly trending higher, but remember, it pulled back,
Yeah.
right? It's been
Uh huh.
pulling back, and then it goes up. It's the whole escalator up, and then it what is the elevator down, right? So today there was just out of the blue, there was a 50 or 60 point drop. No news, but that's just NQ, while ES just kind of maybe went down, maybe 1 point, that's just the nature of NQ, and
Yeah.
anyways, but
No.
I think moving forward, I think that's going to be a real,
No, he is. Possibly.
how would I say,
I do.
a real advantage for my trading. It's just something
Yeah,
just
I do
from my
like.
personal
I believe that.
observance, you know, that I'm seeing. I'm just leaving way too much money on the table, instead of getting in and get it up by. I'll just move the two contracts and just let one go, and maybe I'll only get another 10 points. 10 points at one contract, man, who can, on NQ, over 10 accounts or 20 accounts, wow, that's a pretty good day, Robert, at least for me.
So you're bringing up more accounts. I guess I'll probably get a question. Do you leave a runner for each account on your Apex trading account? Would you leave a runner for each account? Would you leave how many? What's the risk? How do you determine risk in that kind of situation when you want to leave one runner on? On
Well, I
basically,
limit well,
yeah.
well, I limit risk. I limit risk number one by taking A plus setup. Number one. Number two, I limit risk that when I get my kind of using the Gary Norton method, right? You get in, you get out. But now that I have the script, or I'm going to get the script made, I could let the other contract go, right, for a runner at break even. So even like you said, even if I get three of those in a row, no big deal. But you know what? On the fourth one or on the fifth one, it's going to pop. And when it pops, and NQ, when it pops, you know, I mean, it could really. And now remember, this could pop not only to the upside, it could pop to the downside. And NQ, when that thing drops, oh, good grief, man, you can get a 50 pointer, a 50 handle run. Imagine 50 handles or 40 handles, even 30 handles, a 10 handle, 15 handle, across 10, 15, 20 accounts, all on a copy trade, you know. At that point, it's free money, right? Because you can't lose money. You're already in the trade. You cannot lose money at that point if you're at break even,
You're
right?
breaking even, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, because you're at break even. You can't lose money, right? So to me, at that point, it's free money. The risk is eliminated at that point, right? Because it gets out on a market order,
Exactly, yeah.
right? It's free money at that point. So, and that to me is a great strategy, especially I think 15, 20 minutes after the market opens, as it's pretty customary for many traders, right, to get green light. Many traders don't even trade after, or don't start their trade till 15, 20 minutes after the market, because that's when kind of all the market makers, flush out their orders, and then the market determines if it's going to trend, what direction is it going to go? Is it going to go north of VWAP? Is it going to go south of VWAP? Well, that would be a great time if there's an opportunity. and the setup is there. Take it, right, and you get your 2 or 3 points, 4 points, whatever, on hypothetically, we'll say on one contract, and then you let that other contract go. You know, so to me, it's nothing new, but to me, it's just an enhancement. I feel for what I am just adding to my architecture of trading. You know, and for me, I think the biggest thing that has made a difference for me, I think, is having this alternative of not having to stress or worry or to be tempted, right? To be that's really what it is, to be tempted because of lack of impulse control or whatever you want to call it. I got to make money. I got to make money. You know what? It's great because I can go back to a very safe strategy, right, on the equity bumper car channel car strategy, and I could be making money, and that keeps me active and alert all day long because I'm just making little 15, 20, $25 uh, scalps, right? Using very low risk, right? On a stock that's consolidating, so there's not going to be any big move against you. I'm always keeping an eye on NQ, right? As the giant magnet. If I see that doing weird things, right? Then I will adjust my strategy because sometimes, believe it or not, if AMD comes up on the scanner as a great channel trading strategy, sometimes things happen where it breaks out of that channel trading and then decides to go up north or south. Well, you know what? NQ is oftentimes the leader, of that. Uh, Reason. It starts to pull down, right? So therefore, it pulls down all the equities in that basket. You know,
Do you have
so
a
it
do you
just
have a favorite stock? Since you mentioning stocks and NQ, you're watching both of them at the same time. Obviously, you're looking for correlations. Do you have any favorite stocks you could tell the audience?
big cap stocks, typically the ones that a lot of momentum traders will use. Your Tesla. To me, I feel that Nvidia is probably replacing Tesla as the giant volatility mover, right? Because it ended up passing $1 trillion with the whole AI. So to me, I think I would not be surprised if Nvidia continues this upward trend, this hockey stick trend, as being the new mover in volatility. I have heard that Nvidia, because the price is very expensive, it's $725 or $22, that there's going to be a stock split. So it's my thesis that when it gets too expensive, they'll do a stock split, and then that'll bring in a lot more traders, right? Which will add much more volatility, much more uh, money making opportunity. So you got the Fab Seven, but to me, Nvidia, Tesla, uh, sometimes Netflix. Um, but the problem with Netflix is the spread's a little thick on that. It's a little wide. Um, but I would say typically that, you know, um, what else? Meta, sometimes Meta. Sometimes Meta moves pretty good. So I would typically, like you said, if you have the charts up, put it on a 1 minute. You can look at it, have some of your zones up there, the pre-market, post-market indicators up there that show the different levels throughout the day, of course with DWAP, and just keep an eye on it. Because if there's nothing happening in NQ or ES, boom, just move to that. And then when NQ or ES, that's the other thing, going back to ES, hey, we had last week where ES was a stronger future than NQ. And I traded it, and it's much safer. It doesn't have the fake outs like NQ, right? You know. So, but typically the big problem with ES is that it's such a slow mover. But on those rare occasions that it does move, I think ES is incredible, absolutely fantastic. But you have to wait. So in the meantime, instead of just waiting, being bored, playing video games, keep busy, keep sharp, keep coherent, keep your brain on alert, channel trade these equities on those certain stocks that come up on a scanner that I have. Mark out your pivot points, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, trend lines, which is a new thing that I'm going to be learning more about, and
This is not financial advice, though, right?
never financial advice. As it's so customarily said, seek the advice of a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only.